everyone, welcome to another booktube video. I'm back filming in front of this bookcase because it is too dark in my living room in the evening still to film there. I wanted to get this filming done while I had the house to myself for the evening, so I could play with the angle of the camera in here and which way I face to not have like my nose and ear lit up and nothing else. Fiddle around with that all night and I still wouldn't get the lighting that I wanted. So we'll go with this. We'll see how it is, and I might even just cut this little ramble out anyway because I seem to do that quite often. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I am going to do a favourites video for the first time. I've not done one of these before, but there were a couple of things in the past couple of months that just made me think I wanted to mention them that aren't bookish. Since this is a booktube channel though, I'm going to start off with a book, and that is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. You might have heard of Samantha Shannon because she has written The Priory of the Orange Tree, which has just been published this week as I film, and there was quite a lot of publicity in the build up to that, and I believe she's doing a few events with it. But this is her original series, her main series, and this is book one in it. It's been around for a few years now, and she's still working on the rest of the series. I had been meaning to read it for a while. I kept seeing it in bookshops and thinking it sounded interesting and never quite got around to it. And then I saw her speak at, I believe it was Super Relaxed Fantasy Club in the autumn. If you live in London, you should look that up. I've mentioned it a few times in my videos and I will put a link to it in the description box. It happens once a month in London. A couple of authors come along, read an excerpt from their books and answer some questions. And it's really chilled and friendly and, as the name suggests, relaxed. Anyway, Samantha Shannon came and spoke at that, and I was really inspired to get a move on and read this book soon, so I picked it up when I had some book tokens. I read this book in January in less than a week. It was the first book that I'd read for a very long time where I really couldn't put it down. Any spare moment I was racing through it to see what happened next. It was really, really exciting. I can't believe that it took me so long to get around to reading it. I'm kind of frustrated with myself, but at the same time it means that now I have other books in the series to go on to, which is quite exciting. I don't need to wait around for those. I loved that it gave me that feeling of wanting to know what happened next, being really, really excited to turn the page and just keep reading. It really highlighted for me that I've been in a bit of a slump recently and like pushing myself through books that I've had on my shelves that I'm not necessarily excited about and just plow on with. And I really want to find more books like this that I read with that intensity and getting 100% involved in the book and the story and really, really wanting to keep reading no matter if it's bedtime and I have to be up quite early the next day. I just need to read one more chapter. I am still going to push through some of the books on my shelves that have been sitting there for a while, but it's made me think that maybe I should be a bit stricter about what I cull from my shelves. If I'm not excited to read a book, then why am I hanging on to it? So anyway, that was a favourite from January, and I highly recommend it if you have not read it yet. The next thing that I'm going to mention is a piece of clothing. This is a t-shirt that I was given for Christmas after asking for it, I must say, and that is, it says, if you can see it, fake gnu's, and the little speech bubble next to the man says, it appears to be a cardboard cutout, and that just appeals to my sense of humour. I think it's quite clever and quite funny. And that is made by Genki Gear. I'll put a link to them in the description box. I found them because they had a stall at the Nine Worlds convention. They make a lot of t-shirts that are kind of geeky. They have like magic references on them and sci-fi fantasy culture references on them and things like that. I think they're a lot of fun. Next to mention is a podcast that I've been listening to recently, and this was actually what inspired me to make this video in the first place because I've been loving it and I'd really like to recommend it. It is called Wedding Confessionals, and it is two women who live in California. I think they live in LA. They are both married and they have this podcast where each week they bring on a guest who first of all talks through their own experiences with weddings, like how old they were when they first went to one, how many weddings they've been to, if they've ever been a bridesmaid or groomsman in a wedding. And once they've chatted to the guest a little bit, they then have listener confessions or questions or rants that they read out and then give advice on or laugh at or just enjoy chatting about, depending on what the confession is. I had been looking for something about weddings that was a bit light-hearted, and this 100% fits what I was looking for. It treats weddings with a really kind of a light-hearted look. Their motto is, as they start the show, is the only thing that we love more than weddings is talking shit about weddings. So it is intending to be funny and light-hearted, and I really enjoy that. It's really brightening my commute at the moment. I've been kind of marathoning through that on my 2.5 hours I spend each day on trains, and it's making it much more enjoyable, I must say. So even if you are not getting married, you are not in a relationship, it is still a really fun listen. If you are married and it was a while ago, like, you don't have to be planning a wedding to enjoy this show, basically. So I highly recommend that one. And my final thing that has been a favourite this January and February has been friends and family and getting to spend time with them. I know that sounds super cheesy, but I had a lovely week of holiday with my dad and my brother in January. I saw them over Christmas, but I'd been a bit frantic running around trying to organise other things. So it was really good to catch up with them. We went skiing, which is something I love. And it was really good just to have that nice family time together with them. I was at a family event with my fiance recently, and it was just such a lovely, happy occasion. Other guests there said that you could just feel the love in the room, and that was 100% my experience of it. It was such a lovely time being in a very happy place with people, and I felt very fortunate to be part of that. And finally, in part of that family and friends, last week I spent a lovely sunny Saturday with the 2 girls who are my bridesmaids, and we just had a really, really nice time hanging out together, making some plans, talking about stuff. And again, it was just lovely to get to spend time with friends who, even though they don't live too far away from me at the moment, we still don't necessarily see each other that often. London is a big place, and one of them doesn't actually live in London itself. She lives nearby. So it was great to just spend time catching up with them. Those are all the things I wanted to mention that have been favourites of mine in the last couple of months. I would love to hear about things that you are enjoying recently. If there's any books or music or TV shows that you would recommend, any more podcasts I should be listening to, and just what's the good stuff going on in your life, let me know in the comments, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye!